I became a follower of Christ, I would say, at 11 years old. I was born and raised inside of a church environment.
I became a follower of Christ when I was 9 years old. I had gone to church my whole life, and I consider that the moment that I became a follower of Christ, because that's the moment that I truly realized that I wanted to follow Christ with my life and that I wanted to make the decision to be baptized. I would say since that point, I've had ebbs and flows in my walk with Christ, but I truly feel connected to the Holy Spirit, and I know that God exists and He's real, and He's the one that I want to follow in my life.
My father's a Methodist pastor, and I was practically born in the church pew. So I've always had a very intimate relationship with God, that even in spite of the cognitive dissonance of having that thing that didn't resonate with the rest.
I came to know Christ when I was about 6 years old. And it was really cool because my dad talked to me about God. He talked to me about Jesus very simply, in a way that a 6-year-old could understand. And I remember it. And shortly thereafter, I was baptized, and my journey with God and with Christ really started at a very young age.
Being queer and being a Christian have been difficult to reconcile for me in some ways. I feel that in my walk with Christ, I came to a point where I realized that He would love me no matter what. And from that realization was when I realized that I could admit that I was queer and that I could pursue whatever that meant for my life.
Connecting my sexuality to my faith has been challenging just because of the conservative family that I've been a part of for my whole life. They've always had strong views about sexuality and the paradigm that must fall under.
Reconciling my faith with who I am and my sexuality was an extremely difficult journey, and it took a long time, a lot of self-analysis, a lot of fighting with God. There's a lot of fighting with God that I had to do, and I think one of the best lessons that I learned is that that's okay. It is okay to fight with God. He can take it. He wants us to, because in those challenges we grow closer to Him, because we find out more truth about who we are in Him.
The idea of being gay and Christian was a dichotomy. And that was probably based on the premise that gay is a choice, and maybe in certain aspects it could be, but as I continued to understand myself more and more, I came to realize that this is not something that I've chosen, and I keep trying to push it back and away. And I feel like when I was able to accept that this was a part of who I was, I realized that God had accepted me all along.